Good morning, students. As we have talking about the organizational structure, we have learned what is organizing and what is the process of organizing and how it is important. After learning this, today we will learn about organizational structure. First of all, we should know what is organizational structure. Organizational structure is the way with which we can divide the department, with which we can divide the activity and the process of doing in a systematic way is called organizational structure. And when the organization starts to do the work, at that time the systematically division of work to achieve the organizational goal, and there must not be the wastage of anything is called organizational structure. At that time will be required. No organization can do the work if there is no organizational structure. We have known that organizing is very important, but how? The problem is there how we can use the organizing. When we are going to organize the thing, at that time we should adapt any structure. Okay, so organizational structure is very important. Now we should also know that how many types of structure are there. There are 4 types of organizational structure. First one is functional structure. Second one is divisional structure. Third one is formal structure, and fourth is informal structure. These are the 4 structure that can be adapted, that can be used. Okay, today we will learn about functional structure. Before learning about functional structure, we should know span of management. What is the span of management? In span of management, any organization sees how many subordinates, number of subordinates are required. Okay, suppose if we divide the work and in one division there is one head. To complete that activity, to complete that work, how many subordinates will be required? It will be seen by management, and it is called a span of management. Okay, now we will see the functional structure. What is functional structure? This is the first structure. Okay, functional structure defines the activities, all the activities which are going to be happened in the organization at that time. All the operational activities will be grouped. We will have to make the group of same types of activity. Other types of activity will be grouped in another group. In this way, when we make group of according to the activity, it will at that time it will be called functional structure. Suppose it is not clear, suppose we can take the example. If we want to do any activity in our organization, if we want to produce goods in our activity, at that time what departments are required at that time? First of all, when we are going to do the work, at that time the people are required, or we can say employees will be required. Employees, how many skills labor should be there, how many unskilled labor should be there, number of managers are required, we should see, number of supervisors. In this way, we will have to appoint the employees who will work for our organization. At that time, the human resources department will be required. So, we will have to make a department for human resources, and this department will see all the activity regarding human. Okay? Now, other department should be there when we produce the goods. The goods is to be sold in the market. So at that time, marketing efficient people will be required. So marketing department, marketing activity must be grouped in a department. Okay? And there must be a research and development department. In this way, in the same way, there must be a purchasing department who will purchase, and that will purchase raw material for the organization. In this way, we make the 4 departments, for example, and there is one head who will see all the activities of these department. He will be called managing director. But students, you should also know this functional structure is appropriate for that organization who is producing single product, single line product. At that time, functional structure will be required. Okay? Now, after understanding all these things, we will see what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, and where it is suitable. This is called functional structure, where it will be suitable. Okay? Let's see. Students, now we will see the advantages of functional structure. As in the first point, you are seeing leads to occupational specialization. For functional structure, specialized employees are required. As I have told you, when people are specialized, the work is to be done by them, the work is completed by them, the work will be very good and high quality specialized people are required for functional structure. Okay, now we will see the second point is promotes efficiency in the utilization of manpower. When we use the functional structure, at that time, when specialized people do the work, at that time it is clear that the work will be completed very good, but their efficiency will increase. How their efficiency will increase? When they use their experience, their efficiency in the work daily. When repetition of that work will be done by those people, at that time their efficiency will naturally increase. And the next point is increase of managerial and operational efficiency. Because we have divided the activity, at that time managers will do their work and operational people will do their work. When other types of activity doing by other pupil and different type of activity will be completed by other type of pupil. At that time, both type of efficiency will be increased in the organization, such as managerial and operational efficiency. Okay. The fourth point is reduces duplication, because we have grouped the activity already, so there will be no chance of duplication. Work will not be repeated. Sometimes in some organization, one work is completed in by other pupils, that work will also be completed. It means the repetition of work will be there and the wastage of all resources. So it is very important, the duplication of work must not be there, because it is only wasted. So when we group the activities, at that time there is no chance of duplication of work. The fifth advantage is different functions get due attention. It is very important. The managers or administrators of an organization can see other types of activities. Different type of activities are there in our organization, and they can focus not only this, what activity must be done within time. So time factor is there, and they can have their eyes on the work. Different functions get different type of attention, and all due attention can be given by the seniors or employees. And when we give the full time factor is very important. When we give the appropriate full time and full devotion, the work is completed in a very good manner. Now we will see the disadvantages. There are some drawbacks also of functional structure. The first disadvantage is functional structure gives more importance to objective of functional head. Students, as I have told you, there are group activities, and when there is a group, so it is sure there will be a head of that group. The employees or subordinates who are working in a particular activity group, they are responsible to complete that work, and they are answerable to their head. So they take interest in completing the activities given by the functional head. They don't take any interest for the objective of organization. This is the disadvantage, because they do the work from the orders of their head. So they must keep in mind what the objective of the organization is. But they don't have. They have in their mind what the work is given by their head, they will complete, and that's all. Now, second disadvantage of functional structure is lack of coordination among different departments. In any organization, there are different types of departments, but the people, the employees who are working for one department, they don't coordinate from other departments' employees. They coordinate with the employees who are working in his department. They don't have any interest in the coordination of other departments' employees. This must not be. This is not good for any organization. If there is coordination among the employees of the same department will be there, but there must be a coordination among the different departments. because all the departments are interrelated with the activities, and this will be very harmful for the organization if there is no coordination among the department's employees. So it is the drawback. And the third point is conflict of interest will arise. Suppose if the employees of one department don't coordinate with the employees of other department. On the contrary, the other department's employees will also not coordinate with the employees of the first department. It means there will be a conflict and disputes can be happened there, and it affect the productivity of the department, productivity of the organization, and objectives of the departments can be deviated. Now we will see the fourth disadvantage: lead to inflexibility due to narrow perspective of employees. Employees' perspective must be broad. It must not be narrow. They must not think only the activity, what the activity they are doing. They must keep in mind mainly they are working for the organization and they are the part of organization, not of that department only. In that department where they are doing work, or the department is doing the work for completing the objective of the organization. So they are very important link of that department. They should think. But in the formal structure, employees don't have this type of view. This is the disadvantage of functional structure. Now we will see suitability. For the organizations which require high degree of functional specialization with diversified activities. It means the organization require the high level specialized people who can do the work in any type of activity, or when they are required, when organization hire the specialized people, at that time they will have to pay more. So it is very important. Specialized people required. When specialized people are required, organization will have to pay high salary. And large organizations producing one line product, as I have told you, if any organization producing one type of product, at that time functional structure will be apt for that department, that organization. I think you have understood very well where functional structure must be adopted, where functional structure must not be adopted, and what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, and where it is suitable. I think you have understood very well. Now we will see the next point in the next video.